So, how did I end up at FCNL? Well, this story really begins with my parents being a very consistent pain in my neck. When you're growing up, you want to be able to come home and complain about a teacher or a classmate that's frustrating you, and you want to be right, and you want them to be wrong, and for it to be simple. It's black and white. Well, I always came home, and my parents said, well, think about the teacher's perspective. They're just trying to control the class. Think about your classmates' perspective. Maybe they were just having a bad day. It was very, very frustrating growing up. But it's led me to some really formative experiences. In the fourth grade, I was living in England. And I come from generally a liberal-leaning family. And the 2000 election was, of course, in the news. And it was all the talk on the playground and in the classroom. And a lot of my classmates were from very conservative families, mainly from Texas. And we had very different experiences. And when I first talked to them, I was certain that I was right and they were wrong, and that was it. But when I came home and talked to my parents, these parents that had told me, they had fed me the lines that I was saying, all of a sudden they said, but wait, listen, these people come from a different perspective. These people have real points. And as I listened more, I realized that it wasn't black and white. It was very full of gray. Then I grew up. I went to Tufts University. And I entered university. I thought, I think I'm a Democrat. I'm going to join the Tufts Democrats. But I heard my parents' voice in the back of my head saying, you have to look further. So I joined the Tufts Republicans as well. But I didn't just stop there. I went with the Tufts Republicans to the Conservative Political Action Conference, or CPAC. And I thought, I'm not in my fourth grade class anymore. These are serious people with very different opinions. And don't worry, I stood by my principles when I went. But I also found that they were real people and had real experiences as well. And their opinions were just as valid as mine were. And I made lifelong friends at CPAC. And this really had a really formative impact on me. A year later, at Tufts, someone was going around talking about this trip that they were going to take to North Korea. And I thought to myself, well, if ever there was a black and white issue, if ever it was simple, this was the issue. But I heard my parents in the back of my head saying, well, you have to see it for yourself. You have to consider all sides. And so I decided I wanted to participate in this trip. And it's funnily enough, when I told my parents about this, all of a sudden they weren't so, they were a little suspicious. But I did it. I went to North Korea and I was there for 8 days. And there were many things that I saw there that deeply, deeply concerned me. But one of the things that really touched me, the people there were still genuine. Even in North Korea, I made connections with individuals that were wonderful individuals stuck in a very difficult place. And so how did this lead me to FCNL? Well, the Quaker belief in an inner light in everyone, after all these experiences, really resonates with me. Because even in North Korea, I could find people that I can safely say have the inner light in them. And so when I was looking for a job, I wanted a political organization that reflected my belief that everyone's experiences and everyone's background is valuable, and stuck to their principles strongly while respecting everyone else. And that's why I'm very proud to be working at FCNL.